Hi, this is Scott Weingel over at CollegeMadeSimple.com, and today what I wanted to talk about was pros and cons of the gap year, which is basically taking that year off in between high school and going to college. And for some people it's a great idea, for others it's not so hot of an idea. So we wanted to cover some of the pros and cons involved in making that decision so that you can make an informative one. Some of the pros are avoiding burnout, going to school your entire life to just then going right to college. For some kids it might lead to burnout, and sometimes taking that year off, as long as you're productive with it, can be a really good idea. It refreshes you and it lets you do something, as long as you're being productive, to benefit you down the road. A second thing could be a year off doesn't necessarily need to be a year off, where you could be spending that time, once again, doing something productive. You could be volunteering, you could be doing internships, you could be working, things that will benefit you and will benefit you in college as well. Another year, you'll have to save money as well if the student is working during that period. It's more money they could save money. It's more time they could save money. It's more time that you could be saving money for those college costs. And potentially deferred enrollment. Some schools will admit the student and say, we'll let you take that year off, and you know that you'll have a desk waiting for you when you come back. So in those cases, they could take that year, they could build themselves up for the college experience, knowing that when they get back, they've already been accepted into a school and that they'll be able to attend that school. So those are some of the pros of taking that gap year. However, for a lot of students, there's a lot of cons as well. One is that left back feeling. You're in high school with all of your friends go off to college, and you're now a year separated, and sometimes you experience that left out feeling. You're 1 year behind them in that respect. Not necessarily going to result in the student getting into a better school. A lot of colleges, no matter what you do with that year off, if you're working, you're building your resume, you're building your anything about yourself to make you a better candidate for certain colleges, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to, put it bluntly, care. So don't do that gap year thinking that it's necessarily going to result in your student getting into a better school. My opinion, the biggest con is probably the potential for a wasted year, where you may take that gap year with every intention of doing something productive, but one thing leads to another, and it ends up becoming a wasted year. And that's really what you don't want to avoid, and that unfortunately happens a lot. So it could be good, it could be bad, but you really need to weigh that out. I would weigh it out as a family to determine what's best for your particular student before you make that decision. But for more information on gap years or anything else related to paying for college or making it more easily affordable, definitely check us out at www.collegemadesimple.com.